And good morning, good evening, good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to the Fusion ECT race number 4. We are out on New York's the 6 train course for 7 laps. Going to be a long race out there today, 28 miles, I believe it is. We're looking at somewhere in the high 40s for the kilometers out there today. I'm going to take a quick look at the series standings as we do get taken off, though, pretty quick here, as riders already out in the pens with about 4 seconds to go to the start of the race here. And so we're going to jump right on in with the riders and then talk a little bit as we do get off to a start here about how the series has been playing out. Now, it has been a lot of racing up against the KRT team and the Fusion team have kind of been dominating the race series so far as the action that's been at the front end of the races a lot of times. I'm seeing Johnny Rocket here from Team of Finesse, though, jumping into the race out there. Dafford Williams are seeing there, of course. Kayland as well from the KRT team, as well as a whole lot of other KRT racers as well. We are seeing Cryogen, it looks like, jumping in the Tour de Pure kit as they usually do. I'm seeing some 3R races as well. But as always, being the Fusion ECT Racing League, they are showing up in force for these races. So we're going to keep eyes on what the race is going to be as we do start out here out on the course, but I definitely want to take a quick look over at zwiftpower.com. That is where all of the standings are being held. If you are unfamiliar with zwiftpower.com, make sure to go register on over there for a profile if you want to share your information from Zwift over to there for all of the racing that you are doing and some rides, obviously, as well, to be tracked. So let's go ahead and take a quick look, though, as the current series standings. With 3 races in so far, we do have Alexei Kalman from Fusion ECT currently leading things out in the series with 3 races and 56 points in the A category. Simon Nielsen currently sitting in 2nd place with 42 points with 3 races in. Mads Bang Anderson out there with 3 races. And that is it in the A category for the top 3. All for Fusion ECT currently for the series standings right now. In the B category, then, it is Ivar Berget currently, as we do have an attack here from Tolbo off the front, longtime racer for, it looks like, Fusion ECT as well. ZCL live, and I'm live. CS Tricks I'm seeing in game here, so just so everybody knows, Casey Shum is hanging out live as well. So if you guys want to go check that out, make sure to do so, as he is one of the larger streamers of Zwift, actually, over on Twitch. So I believe he is multi-streaming, though, to multiple platforms at this point here. But watch out for Tobel here. This is not a racer you want to allow to get away here. I wouldn't be surprised if this was an effort, though, by Fusion to try and egg a few riders out of the pack rather than just sit in and wait for a final sprint. Now, this is a rolling course. It has a lot of undulations in it, but they're very sharp. And you know, as we do see this 10% gradient that we are kicking up here, this is going to be the main section out on course to be watching out for. And the riders, though, continually will have a course coming at them with some rollers. So there's a lot of opportunity out on this course to try and make something happen. We've already seen a little bit of pressure being put on the rest of the pack here. We do see, it looks like Adamant, I believe it is, making his way to the front here, and a little bit of a gap again. So now a counter here coming from Fusion, as it was closed down very quickly there by DBR, as well as a few of the KRT team members there with third wheel. Soren Bay from Fusion there as well toward the front, and it looks like Mike Davis from Team Experimental, maybe going to be him and Casey Shum from Team Experimental. That's going to be the black and green kicks that you're going to be watching out for. Here is that kit. And Casey, long-time racer, you do see him, I believe, on the right-hand side of the pack here with the ride on over his head at this moment, actually. So Casey Shum, Mike Davis here, they're the representatives from Team Experimental. And I think being a long-standing team that is very familiar with racing out on Zwift, knowing that with 7 laps out on this course, most of these attacks most likely going to be brought back together. But you know, going to put some softening up in the legs here. Fusion with the numbers, most likely looking to make things happen early on with the numbers that they do have out here. So looking through the social media integration as you guys are tuning in. Make sure to let us know what you're thinking over on Facebook as well as Twitter, etc., as we are watching closely all of the comments and questions that are coming on through. We will be we'll be tuning in over there to bring in all the comments that you do have. Awesome power here coming from Michael, as well as Go KRT coming from Morton Vang. Good to see you guys hanging out in the broadcast. So if you do want to interact with us, here is how you do so. Michael Powell is letting you know, as well as Morton Vang here with the Go KRT. Now, a lot of times during our races, especially during some of the calmer sections out on course, we want to bring in your chat. So you can also hang out over on Twitter as well if you want to bring on in any of your current setups, pictures of podiums you get from Zerth Racing, etc. You can do so by bringing in media as well over on Twitter, and that is at Z Community Live, at Z Community Live over on Twitter. So questions and comments always welcome to keep things moving here. And Michael, Racing Mike says, Mansky over on Twitch letting us know lots of pain today in this race right now. So appreciate to have you here. So we will be able, just so everybody knows today, covering the A category. We are definitely going to be following along with the B, the C, and the D category as things develop. But we have to cut the broadcast immediately after the A category with some in real life stuff happening. So as soon as the A category race is finished, you can check out the results over on zippower.com for the B's, the C's, and the D's. And I will be doing shout-outs as we do follow along with their race. As speaking of, we did go over the current series standings for the A category. Let's go ahead and talk about the B category a little bit. Ivor Bargett here from the Dirt Team. Dad's Inside Riding Trainers, currently with 3 races, 54 points total currently, with a third, a second, and a first, actually, in that category. Alexis Luge with race 3R out there for the B category, currently sitting in second place, so solid results for him so far. As we do see an attack in the A category, though, going off the front here. It looks like it will be C. Smith from ZHR, it looks like, off the front, giving solid effort in the 600 watts currently on that Rowan King kit on. Good to see with that giant bicycle here and some zip wheels. But again, back into the B category, current standings. Michael Heiberg there sitting in third place, just behind Alexis Luge and Ivor Burgett, and then Ned Bowen and Benjamin Berthelsen there. That's your top 5 currently in the B category. C category is going to be Isaac Nez there for Dirt, also Dad's Inside Rider Training with 50 points currently. A third, a second, and a third is his current results here for the last 3 races that have gone down in this series. Charlie Ryan from NTR, followed up by Chrisholm McDonald there, currently sitting in third place there. But only 2 races, so a lot of these racers looking to get their best, I believe it is 7 results. Your best 7 results count. Every day will score points. So, and the point structure is interesting in this series. We do have a 5-second gap here, actually. This looks to be making a solid effort here. Polbolt, who was instigating earlier, but now backing off as it looks like they're not too interested in working very much together. Now, it does back off at the front here of the pack as well, so interesting to see. It is 3 seconds now. Did go out to 5 for a moment, thought maybe something would happen, but I think they were trying to egg on a few more in the pack because there's quite a few racers still in and amongst this group, and it's going to be very difficult to try and get away. We're seeing Dougleby here riding for Rowan King in the group as well. Be watching out for this rider here with the verified badge. Probably, whenever it's always what you want to be watching out for, actually, whenever you do see those verified badges in game, as I'm assuming a perhaps Continental Pro rider, or even better, Dougleby here hammering away for Rowan King in and amongst this pack of, I think, 40-plus riders at this point. So C category, again, it is Istok, Knez, Ryan, Charlie Ryan, and Chrisholm McDonald. Is that your top 3 currently in that category? In the D category, 2 races so far for Richard Seddon, and then Joel Kravel for Tuga ZRT, and then it's going to be Lee Cuthbertson from the BRT team currently sitting in third place. That's the D category standings right now in the series. For the point structure, it is 20 points to first place, 18 to second, 16 to third. It does back off down to 10 points, so it's a pretty good discrepancy between getting a podium and then off the podium there, with fourth place being 10 points, down 2 points down to 8 points then for 5th, and then 6, 5, 4, 3, and then 2, all the way through the rest of the top 10 is that? Let me see here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. So from 10th to 15th, it is 2 points awarded for those spots. Adam Duggleby, GB Tandem Pilot End. 2018 GB National 12-hour TT champion and record holder. That's why I love chat. Anywhere that I only know, being the Zwift commentator and the mountain biker. I'll know everything about the pro mountain bike world and know all the names there. Know a pretty good amount about the road world. But Keith Robertson helping us out here. And this is our, we're going to call this our mad scientist for the day, as we don't have Mr. Greg Leo alongside with us. But he's going to let us know that Adam Duggleby is the Great Britain tandem pilot and 2018 Great Britain National 12-hour TT champion and record holder. So this guy can go. If you let Duggleby get away, we might have a situation where TTing away from the rest of the pack is what's going to be happening. Zawa's up in here as well. Go Fusion ECT coming from Alexei Kalman. Good to see Alexei in here. Alexei not racing today. These or maybe typing while racing. I have to take a look through the results here and see if Kalman is in the riders nearby. But looks like the current series leader taking a week off. Now, it is your best 7, so you can do so without being too worried. But he's going to have to be watching out for these KRT boys, as I think they're going to be wanting to take over some of the front spots here. As we do have third wheel following closely to these attacks into this 10% grading that we have to watch out for every lap, I believe. This is going to be the section of the course we're going to be looking for these breaks. M. Bang here from Fusion, currently sitting 3rd overall in the A category right now. 40 now, making his way to the front. This is another rider to be watching out for when it comes to TTing away from the group. We get 40 off the front alongside Duggleby, and you got a serious threat up against this Fusion ECT, though. I'll be watching out for that, as 40 likes to attack out on course. That is for sure. Going to double-check 40's jersey here, and perhaps changing up here. Now riding for Het is course. Is he racing for HK? Maybe a change-up on teams here for 40. Used to be riding for Vision in games, so perhaps there has been some drafting going on recently in the world of the Zwift teams. Be interesting to see if that's what's going on here. As I do look at the live results, if that's changed as well over on the if it's changed as well over on ZwiftPower.com. And actually not attached, riding unattached, it looks like 440, one of the longest standing racers out on Zwift. Be watching out for him for perhaps a TT away. Maybe not a sprint win, but we'll have to wait and see. Adam Duggleby also was 12th in the last Zwift Classic race. Good to hear. Thank you so much for letting us know. So happy it's still summer here in Austria. Zwift racing always hurts. Werner, thanks for stopping in to the broadcast, and can't wait to see you out in the races sooner than later. I did get outside, though, as well today, and so I will not be doing any Zwift racing. I don't believe, might do 2-a-days. Nathan's getting in shape and getting ready for the Pat Shaw Challenge that we're starting to call it lately, with the Australians have been egging us on as commentators to battle it out in a one of the lamb chop races, the chop races that have been going on with AHDR and now with Black Sheep here. So 40 now, as we said, always an instigator at the front and is pushing the pace up in the 6 watts per kilometer as we do take the turns here. Looks like it's not going to be going anywhere just as of yet. Shut down by the BRT team as N. Clark now takes over the pace here out of Great Britain. Always good to see the BRT boys in the races with their in-game kit. Bolt Racing team, as you do see here with the gray and slight black on there as well. Cryogen with Jiri here just following moves, it looks like. And then now one thing that you will notice is that the Fusion Dev, a lot of times this is missed by some of the viewers. Fusion uses 2 different kits in-game. And you will see here the Elite team is using the gray kit that you're seeing. Let's see if we can find Peterson here perhaps, or is this the Fusion Dev? Believe it's going to be perhaps one of the Fusion development teams riders here. And they are on the Wahoo kit, as you can see here. Obviously with as one of the sponsors of the team there. But then, as you can see just ahead, Nielsen here in the gray with black writing. That's going to be the other Fusion ECT kit that is in game, and that's going to be the elite team to be watching out for. So there's a whole lot of Fusion riders, but it is a dev team as well as elite team battling it out against each other, even out there today. Maybe working together. We'll have to wait and see how they turn out. But looking toward the front here, it's going to be KRT. They have been the instigators over and over again in these races. Kalen trying to follow the wheels there of his team members, but I believe it is one of his teammates that is going to be MD. No, not MD, excuse me. Perhaps it is, as we move toward the front, Bang here following the wheels, but it's going to be Kalen on the attack, I believe, here with Hodges, I believe, was caught by the group and now is looking to work together with Kalen. Maybe looking for a free lap out on course here. Interesting to see 40 now with some sort of a kick. Maybe a little bit of a... did I see like 14 watts per kilogram there momentarily? Now 6 watts per kilogram. Maybe knowing that this is a section of course with the kind of speed that we were looking at here with a little bit of a tuxedo on. I absolutely love this kit and game here. But this looks to be putting the rest of the group here into a real spot of bother now at this point. And it's strung out behind. We'll see if they can close the gap here. Bang here looking to grab back onto that wheel there. 40 backing. Well, not backing off. 5.8 watts become 456 watts right now. 168 beats per minute. The group grabs right onto that wheel. Doug will be here now just following wheels, it looks like. Not going anywhere. Waiting for maybe the rest of the pack to tire themselves out a little bit. You know, we're very early on into the race here so far. So lots of racing yet to go, about 20 miles or so to go still. I believe we still have about, I think it's 7. We're doing 7 laps, so still looking at 4.5 laps to go out here. So very early on. Not too many moves are going to stick most likely at this point. So just lots of patience, it looks like, as people are burning matches out there. A little bit of question coming here in from Keith Robinson. Is Morton Vang not racing tonight? Let's go ahead and double check over on zwippower.com. Looking through the KRT riders right now. I am seeing Third Wheel out there. I am seeing Daffin Williams out there. Jax Lecoq is out there as well from the KISS Racing team. But we are not seeing the likes of Morton Vang currently. So it does look like there are some spots here currently in the series overalls with some opportunity to grab some points and grab some of those podium spots even. You know, as Alexei Kalman as well as Morton Vang not showing up on the week, and Morton definitely always a threat. Now, interesting to see Morton, you know, on the first week was one to watch out for, I thought, you know, taking the KOM over the top here. He's currently got only 2 points, though, in the series. Perhaps looking at some of the course profiles, thinking maybe this is not something that he's going to be able to actually win outright here. So maybe he was showing up more in support of the other riders that are looking to try and take down the series out here, as KISS Racing Team with their highest positioned rider currently in the series is going to be Christian Oftendal there with 16 points and a 3rd place. But it's going to be Tom of Kalen there with 2 races and only 3 points out there currently. So it'll be interesting to see if Kalen here can get a better result. But it's been a lot of sprint finishes so far. And most of the KISS Racing team are climbers. That is the threat that they do pose a lot of times. Now we do have A1 here. It looks like here 5.5 watts per kilogram. Helmerson. A couple of attacks did take place a little while ago. Weren't able to go much of anywhere. We did see Doug will be up toward the front along with Hodges and some of the other KISS Racing team riders here, but has not developed into anything out on course here. So Keith Robinson saying the course is a bit flat. Yeah, so I mean Morton definitely one of the strongest climbers that we do see out on Zwift, but because of the nature of the course, I think he's not showing up on the day. It does look like Nigel Clark from BRT does have some fans hanging out in the broadcast, and so if you do, let us know who your favorite rider is out there, who you think is going to win. Let's hear the predictions as they do come through. We always love to bring in the comments as well as the cheering on of the riders. Nigel Clark currently sitting, it looks like, in 12th place, tied for 12th place in the series. 6 points currently. Be a quick jump, though, if he does get a solid result out there, as Nigel is currently in 12th place, but tied for 12th Tied for ninth, then it's Christian Nora and Klaus Nielsen, as well as Tom Gakes. And then tied for seventh is Mike Davidson and Stian Lersing. So there is a lot of points to be had here. If a 20-point gain, one win out here, really jumps somebody almost onto a podium position at this point. If Nigel Clark were able to grab a podium and grab enough points to, as well as outposition some of the Fusion boys out there. And now this is an interesting development, everybody. Brett Boniface, a return to racing from the Canadian, and on the attack, hiding in the pack. Nobody spotted him, but Boniface is back out here, hammering away in the court kit and off the front, and one of the most experienced racers we've ever seen out on Zwift. Won many a races. 40 and Boniface showing up in the same race. Was this planned is the question, and they're both riding unattached perhaps. I'm going to have to double check, but we've got some of the strongest Zwift racers that we have ever seen in this race right now, up against some of the new blood that have been showing up in Fusion ECT. This is a team, I don't think that they've seen the likes of Boniface or 40 for quite a while here. And I'm not sure, that's one of the things that's really cool about Zwift racing as it develops as a culture here, is that we've got new racers and new blood jumping into here, and you get to see what this talent that is new to the world of Zwift racing can do up against some of the talent that we've seen in the past here. And now we've got a situation where some of the most experienced Zwifters we've ever seen are starting to make attacks off the front here. We're seeing Hodges off the front. We're also seeing, just a moment ago, I saw Casey Shum making his way to the front as well here. M-Bang as well, Hodges, Kalen from KRT. There's a whole lot of super strong riders here making these attacks. Davis now going alongside, so it's actually Davis on the attack. Larson now, nope, Larson's way off the back actually. This is first place here right now, as Davis and 40, along with Boniface, look to form this attack on the front. And this, I think, this move is all about putting Fusion on the back foot, because they currently hold the top 3 spots in the series, and they don't want any Fusion riders coming alongside this and taking any more points from the series. Davis, 40, Boniface off the front, race number 4, and if they do every race from here on out, they can gain the points that they need to try and take the podium spots. Is Boniface making his move not only in this race but back into Zwift racing as we head into the late summer and fall season for Zwift here? And now it's shut down though by the Vikings along with Fusion ECT, seeing that move and knowing who these racers are now, knowing that they have something on their hands to deal with here. Now I think it's going to be a more concerted effort here by this group to shut down anything that does come from those riders there. Now, will we see an attack, though, from Casey Shum? Will we see a counter from Team Experimental? No, it's the Vikings here with Farup here, kicking into 4 watts per kilogram, 5 watts per kilogram very quickly there just a moment. I did see Farup with a little bit of a kick. Now backs on off. I think maybe just following any moves that were looking to be made there momentarily here. So looking through, though, the group, as it does look like Bang now up into 7.8 watts per kilogram, and it's going to be following Hodges. But Hodges a full lap down here, so maybe just looking to try and instigate something to cause some of the other riders to follow the moves here. But no, it's the most experienced rider that we know of on Zwift as far as racing goes. It's Casey Shum. Casey Shum, 5.2 watts per kilogram toward the front now, knowing that these are the moments here of speed as they head back over toward the lap finish banner. And this is an interesting course because it does finish on a downhill into that lap finish banner here. Hodges now attacking up the front again. They might just let him go, knowing that he's a lap down. Are they going to go with him? But the question is, will any KRT riders look to work with him at this point? Bay here now, shutting it down for Fusion. Lots of Fusion jerseys here as we can see. I don't think they're going to be caught out too much here, except for some of the riders that may not be able to hang on from their team. But at this point, they do have plenty of riders there making this break. Will Casey give a little kick and really snap this elastic? As Saunders just looks to hang on with Cryogen there. Kalen is there as well. Kalen looks to jump up to the wheel there quickly, it looks like, as they know that this moment looks very dangerous out on course. The speeds are very high, 33 miles per hour here at this point. and the riders absolutely demolishing themselves to make this break stick here. And as we look behind, look at how the elastic is starting to snap. There's a few riders already finding themselves almost caught out. Doug will be sitting in there. Nor there from Fusion as well. Adam in there. We're seeing Nair here now as well. Jiri there from Cryogen. But it's going to be a 4-second back to Mark Foggin, and then it's going to be third wheel along with Tobel. But these boys, they've already been caught out, it looks like, at this point. Look at third wheel and the rest. Completely smashed, 169 beats per minute. Mark Fogg is there as well. Clark there from the BRT team. He needed a good result today. We were talking about that earlier. He sits in the top 15 in this series, but currently in 25th on the chase. It is gone. This goes to show concerted over and over attacks at the front, even on a flatter course like this, can cause some damage, and that elastic that snapped. Tobel here unable to close it down, fading at 185 beats per minute. The pace is just too high at the front. It's been 7 watts per kilogram kicks over and over again. They were putting out a solid 30 to 33 miles per hour there. You had to hold down 4.0 to 7.0 watts per kilogram just to rotate through at times in this group. And now we've got our top 24 here in this group for Fusion ECT race number 4, hammering away. 40 is killing it with the fire on the front there, it looks like here. Looking to demolish this group, putting the work in, it looks like, as we head into the second half of our race. Let's go ahead and take a quick look at some of the social, as we got a lot of comments coming on through. CS Tricks letting us know 22 in the lead pack, and he is live over on Twitch. If you want to find CS Tricks, you see that little name down there in the corner. All you got to do is put that twitch.tv/CS_tricks, and you can find him live right now. He's a part of this lead group right now as we do look at his avatar as well. Riding 4-team experimental, 148 beats per minute. And you want some racing information about how to race your bike out on Zwift. This guy's got like 600 races or something. I don't know. He's got a lot of races. It's out on Zwift. You can check out his ZwiftPower.com profile. As far as experience goes, he's got, I don't know if he's got the power, though, to win against some of the new blood out there today, or even some of the riders that have shown up that we haven't seen in a while here. We'll see, though. We've seen him win some sneaky sprints, and as far as knowing when to go in these sprints, this guy he's going to be one that's going to know how to make that happen, as well as how to be smart to not waste too much energy out there as well. Jacob Hill coming on through saying, go, Shummy. And now about 17 left coming here from CS Tricks. Shout out to 40 and the rest of the Vision team here coming from Victor. And off to the riders and the rest that make the race broadcast possible. Good to see you there, Victor, in the broadcast as well. And CS Tricks letting us know that he needs some more youth. Well, you got enough youth to type while hammering away at 24 miles per hour currently. So interesting to see. Saying maybe you need more focus as we're typing away. Don't need more power when you got the Sass Kim Littles come through as well. Riding also for Team Experimental. Where's Kim Little when they need him, though? The former UK national champion not showing up in the day to support the team here. What's happening here, Kim Little? Need to use as much of that freedom that you have right now to get on that bike, it sounds like. But Hodges now, along with the DBR rider, it's going to be Faviro Asium out of Denmark. Is that a sponsor, perhaps, of this rider for DBR here? But it does look like a solid kick from Hodges as well as Mbang as they kick into that 10% gradient again. Now over the top there, some continuance coming on through. -1%. Now this is where the speed really matters as they start to snap that elastic here. And a couple of riders able to go through. It's going to be Hodges and 40 again. These guys seem to be the instigators out here today. Boniface shuts it right on down, jumps right onto that wheel, comes right on through actually as Brett Boniface here now, the Canadian. 175 beats per minute now. 40 looking to grab it on the wheel. Bang now hanging onto the wheel there as well. Team Cryogen jumping into the mix now. We haven't seen too much from them, just following wheels so far. But the Frenchman here from Cryogen, 160 beats per minute here, 14 miles into the race. Now Boniface kicking through again, 12 watts per kilogram coming from Boniface, 900 watts. Absolutely demolishing the pack, it looks like here. Can they hang on to this kick is going to be the question. Far up here from the Vikings here, shutting things right on down, saying, no, nothing left here, or maybe just not wanting to follow any of the moves just as yet, maybe not believing that anything is going to stick, as they've still got a solid pack here and a lot of riders from Fusion ECT able to close things down. But Boniface has a solid 6-second gap. Adderman now from Fusion, 8 watts per kilogram here, but the group is just sitting on his wheel there, as we did see a little kick there coming from the rider from Fusion. Keeping the speeds high, it looks like, is the goal there. as they're kicking around at 33 miles per hour. Looking to the front end of the pack again for Boniface. What is the current speed? 33. They're going to have to at least match that if they do not want him to get away. 32 here currently coming from the main pack. A couple more questions coming on through. As we are seeing Iniesta. Thanks so much for the question. This is a great question because I do think that there, for some of the community members that are unfamiliar with all of the broadcasts, we definitely want to make sure that you're understanding exactly what the difference is between the ECT racing series, the test labs, as well as the chop racing, the lamb chop racing we are covering each week. That's our current broadcast schedule right now for our racing right now. So this Fusion ECT is put together by the Fusion esports team. And they run this, and their main aim is clean racing with an awesome series, 10 races throughout. We're going to be racing through October. This can be happening on Tuesdays. Currently, Test Labs is being run on Wednesdays, and we did that to try and not interrupt too much with too many of the series that are out there. Now, there's a lot of awesome series. I know the guys from Indoor Specialist and Dirt are doing something awesome with the Grand Fondo, Morning Grand Fondo. Then they have WTRL and a few other things. KISS also always having awesome races, so we're trying not to interrupt things too much with our Test Labs. So Test Labs are on Wednesday. Make sure to tune in as well as sign up for the test labs tomorrow. We've got some very cool changes coming your way. We've got X, Y, and Z in the variables as well as some changes to the power-ups, so make sure to check that out tomorrow. But test labs is a different broadcast from and race event from what's going on here with Fusion ECT. And then, obviously, on Thursdays, a completely different thing that's all about community racing, which is the lamb chop racing, handicap racing, where riders do hammer against each other in essentially team time trials between the categories, trying to win out the C, the D, the B, and the A category, all pushing themselves to try and take the win. Toward the front here of the race, it does look like things did get shut down, I believe. I think they did bring Mr. Boniface back into the fold, and he sits at the back of the pack here now, chilling at a 3.5 watts per kilogram. But now a counterattack is coming on through, it looks like, from Hodges. I am hearing, though, from Hodges, I believe A&T Plus died. He switched to the Bluetooth, so that is why he is one lap down. No free laps, I believe, in Zwift Racing. But it does look like he is going to be an instigator, though, in the race. And as it's not a teammate, M-Bang might go alongside him here and look to gain some advantage here. And the KRT rider perhaps going to back off and not try and bring the Fusion rider alongside him, as there's a few KRT behind here still in the pack, so he's going to make Bang here do the work now, as it is 5.2 watts per kilogram around the front. But Bang here, the third overall in the series, he's got a lot to gain from this move. 4 seconds is the group difference now, as we do see Karstensen, though, at the front here out of Norway, looking to make a move, and now maybe just shut things down, as there's only 3 seconds between themselves and the rest of the rides. So we're looking through here some of this, some of the chatter coming through over on social media. Keith Robinson saying tomorrow 7:15 UK time, 1:15 my time, Central Time. Tomorrow is going to be Zwift Community Live Test Labs tomorrow. We are back on Watopia Hilly Reverse, for those of you who may be wondering, and we'll be here broadcasting that, covering the race for the A, B, and the CD categories out there as well. So if you haven't done so, make sure to check us out on whatever streaming platform that you enjoy the most. If you did not know and you're wondering where's all this chat coming from, you're seeing chat coming from places that you did not know. Where is this? Why am I seeing these different chats coming through that I was unaware of here? As you do see Keith Robertson here on YouTube, the little YouTube icon there. You are seeing, obviously, Jep Tobel in the race, I believe, as well. Rode UCI race 2 days ago. First hour was easier than this. Jep is letting us know. So Zwift Racing, obviously insanely hard, as we all have learned that have done it. As well as you can see Tricks here over on Twitch with the little Twitch icon. And we are also live on Mixer as well. Mixer does not have social media integration, though, with the current broadcast tools that we have. But it's if you do want to interact with the broadcast, it's there. Now I'm letting everybody know that, though, because you may enjoy watching on a certain platform that you didn't know that we were on, right? So like a lot of times people do ask, how do I know that you are going live with the broadcast? How do we know that there is a Zwift broadcast going on? One of the best ways to know is to follow on a platform that is made for streaming. Or turn on notifications on Facebook, as Facebook is definitely getting much more into the streaming world and the gaming world. So obviously, if you just turn on the little bell notification on the Facebook post for Zwift Community Live's page, you'll then get notifications anytime that we do go live from Facebook. Or you can download the Twitch app, the Mixer app, or YouTube and turn on the bells over there as well. Make sure to follow them, whichever your platform you do enjoy watching on, or whichever one has the most community that you hang out with. Because a lot of times live streaming is a lot more than just specific broadcasts for entertainment, but also the community that you hang out with and chat with during the races. Things have definitely calmed down here now, 34 minutes into the race. I think we're going to have a long race on our hands here, as I think we're going to be looking at around a 1 hour mark for a finish here. And with, I believe, looking through the current results right now, it's going to be 23 riders in and amongst this main group, and definitely some crazy averages just to hang out in the main pack. The lowest watts per kilogram that we have seen so far. Nothing in this pack from any of these riders is below 4 watts per kilogram, except for one, Mark Worthington. Shout out to Mark Worthington. As Mark Worthington, is he actually in this pack? I'm looking through, and the live results are showing me Mark Worthington. I'm going to double check here and see if we can find him in the, and he is here. The BRT rider has put out 3.8 watts per kilogram. This is a guy who knows how to race Zwift. Hodge is on the attack again, though, as you can see. 9 watts per kilogram coming from him. Carstensen here now looking to follow that up. It's going to be DBR, the Danish racing team there as well, trying to follow Soren Bay, but 4-second gap. They may just let Hodges go as he had a dropout earlier, so he is 1 lap down. But everyone, except for this man, Mark Worthington from the BRT team, obviously with plenty of experience, but able to somehow keep his watts per kilogram below 3.8 for the duration so far. So solid job here coming from solid job here coming from Mark Worthington to sit in and most likely looking for that sprint or maybe an all-out attack. Or maybe Worthington's just hanging on and playing it really, really smart. The highest watts per kilogram that we've seen, though, amongst the riders so far in this group is going to be about 4.7 there. 4.7 watts per kilogram, 4.6. Soren Bay, we're looking at there at 4.6. A 4.7 from Joe Carstensen. Carstensen been following a lot of the moves so far, so definitely some crazy wattages here coming from these riders as they are looking to try and take the win here in race number 4. Race number 4 out here. And we're hearing he is a very good sprinter from Keith Robertson, who's a very solid B rider, moved up to A recently. Very astute racer we're hearing here from Keith Robertson. So thanks a lot, Keith. Appreciate the comment there coming on through. Be watching out for that sprint then from him. Actually, what's really cool about ZipPower.com is they do list the best, a lot of the peak powers for these riders, actually, which is super helpful, actually, to give us an idea of, to compare numbers, see where people stand as they do come into the finish. And I am looking through here, and I am seeing 12.5 watts per kilogram from Worthington, actually, for his sprint on a, I believe that's going to be his 15 seconds. So 12.5. Now, some of these racers, though, Mike Davis, 16.6, we're seeing for him. Probably one of the stronger sprinters amongst these riders here. Soren Bay with a 15.4, so be watching out for them. A lot of really strong sprinters in here. Everybody, I mean, there's only 1 or 2 riders that don't have something over 11, so it's kind of anybody's race, I think, amongst these riders here at this point, as far as if it does come down to a sprint. Now, there are plenty of rolling efforts here that could give an opportunity for somebody to get away. I think we've kind of gotten this lull at this point because people are thinking about just that. Will I have an opportunity to try and break away? Hodges gets brought back in the fold. 40 here, now making his way to the front here as well at 4.5 watts per kilogram, steady 390 watts, the TT effort, or the TT specialist, as well as Duggleby, who has a real life championships for TTs. Get those two together off the front. We'll have to wait and see, though, as we do head into the final. I believe it's going to be 2.5 laps to go at this. 2.5 laps to go at this point. So 46 kilometers in total is what we're looking at for this race. And we have 30.8 done now. 40 now, 6 watts per kilogram at the front now again, as he looks to try and break this group. Bang here trying to go along with it again here. 3rd place overall in the series. Hodges now. Kalen Nayers going far up is trying to follow it up here as well. As this is the section, of course, every time as we head through these rollers and into the start-finish banner. Every time it's this downhill, high-speed attack. And this is where things broke up on the last lap. Worthington following wheels, BRT, Casey Shum, Plain and Smart, DBR's here as well, Nielsen, far up, and now into that 3% gradient again, up and out of the saddle. We see the avatars pushing. Every time they stand up, we do see huge amounts of watts. A lot of times that does mean the riders are absolutely demolished. Usually I think it's right around that 5 to 6 watts per kilogram. They start standing up and getting out of the saddle with those high cadences and almost sprint-like efforts here. But look, now starting to fall off the back. It's going to be Ooms now in a spot about a 177. Boniface now seeing that things are starting to get away from him. Did Boniface burn too many matches here now, getting caught out? This is a rider I said that perhaps could take the win out here today, but it doesn't look like that's going to be happening with this kind of a drop off the back here. Ooms now trying to shut things down. Not going to be happening. Duggleby is just done, it looks like here. And Zwift Racing here looks to shoot him out the back now with this pack pushing the pace into those 7-8 watts per kilogram on this little bit of an uphill. Now the speeds, the continuance over the top of this pack, they have been so incredibly smart about how they have pushed it over the top each lap here. And it has caused a break every time. And anybody that has been caught out on this section of course just finds themselves very, very quickly unable to hang on to the speeds here. And another 2 bite the dust as we come over the top here of the main climbing section, I think, out on course here, or at least the section that's proved to be the section to cause the elastic to snap each and every lap here. So back into the front, though, we do see 40 again on the attack with a 2-second gap here. And this seems to be the instigation that has caused this to happen here. 5.2 watts per kilogram consistently here, and it looks like perhaps he has caused the group at this point to just say enough is enough. We just don't have the speed to keep up with this man, and they're just going to let him go perhaps. This is not somebody you want to just let fade off the front. He can hold 5 watts per kilogram consistently for a long period of time here. He's got, there's still some, we're 33 kilometers in. It's going to be a 46-kilometer race, so he could stay away for a solid 13K. I believe we're looking at about 2 laps. It's 4 miles per lap, 4 miles per lap, 28 miles total. So 2 laps to go, 40's the kind of rider that could hang on for the duration of those 2 laps. It looks like they have shut it down, though, as he shut it down there as well at 3.3 watts per kilogram. Just looking to instigate, it looks like here. Now maybe a counter? Hodges, yes, going to the front, 5-3, 4-2, bang here. Now knowing the routine, saw exactly what was going on there, jumps right on the wheel. And Mbang, this is a rider, I think, who is looking to take the win out here today. He currently sits in 3rd place overall. Been hearing his name quite a lot so far today. I think that's specifically because this rider wants a win. He wants to try and unseat his teammates, I believe, at the front end of this race here. And not this race, but of this series, as he's currently sitting in 3rd overall. But he only has, I believe it is 2 races to his name. He has 3. He's got 1 3rd place, no wins yet for Mads Bang Anderson. So 3 races in. It's all fusion at the top with 3 races. Now it's 4 seconds though. Davis just allowing things to go. Mbang, it looks like, it's Hodges. It's going to be DBR here as well at the front. So solid efforts here coming from these riders, and this is a threat now at this point if they continue to just let this go. 4.7 at the front here, as we do see the DBR rider here with Bank here sitting in 4.3. Shum now not allowing it to get away, though, from him, as it is his teammate Mike Davis currently sitting in 7th place overall, tied for 7th, just behind Christian Oftendale and Thomas Malo there from Fusion ECT, who are tied for 5th. So Mike Davis with 12 points on the board. If he grabs a solid sprint, and Davis has a sprint, He's got the strongest sprint, I think, amongst all of the riders in this pack, actually, according to ZipPower.com. If Davis wins the sprint, it will boost him right on into third place overall, I believe, barring anything major from Mads Bang Anderson. But Anderson, though, also with the third place finish, has grabbed some solid points. So, we'll have to wait and see how things play out at the end of the race. But Davis versus Anderson is a reality out here. We may be seeing some of the KRT riders that are out here as well, just looking to steal points as some of their leaders in the series not showing up today besides Kayland, who is out there still, but often, though, I believe not in and amongst the group here. Back to the front, though, it is going to be Davis on the attack, it looks like, actually. Interesting to see him taking the reins now with Hodges and 40 now. Bang here looking to go along with it. It's going to be Saunders, and then Bay there from Fusion ECT as the elastic looks to start snapping now on the front end of this race. Now it doesn't look like a 1 second gap did open up momentarily. The continuance over the top there, that's the 10% grade, but this isn't the section that necessarily has been causing the elastic to snap. Has not been causing the brakes actually so far. Cryogen with some continuance though on this downhill speed there, 36 miles per hour. Now 1 second gap actually, 13 meters. This could be danger here as the Frenchman goes away with a lap and a half to go. 1 second is the difference to be kicked back into 7% gradient. He's going to have some solid wattage still to hold off to this kind of a pack here. No, backs on off, 4.6, 4.7, just looking to get back into the wheels here at this point. And one rider off the back, though, Fusion ECT, and a little bit of a struggle there. It is going to be Adderman, I believe, out of Denmark, 182 beats per minute, just grabbing onto the wheels barely at the back of this pack here. Fusion now on the front, toward the front there again with Bang, always watching the wheels. 178 beats per minute, though, currently coming from this rider. Absolutely demolishing this race so far, though, is the Fusion riders now. As they have completely controlled this, and I do believe they are setting things up here currently for this rider, M-Bang, third overall right now, as they do not have their current series leader in and amongst the pack at this point here. So good to see Jerry Delport over on the Twitch broadcast as always, as things do calm down before the rollers into the start-finish banner. Jerry Delport, good to see you, and good afternoon to you. This route can kill the legs, Chris Wallace. Respect for the boys. Chris Wallace, Marcin, good to see you as always. One of the stronger riders there from Team Poland. He got dropped from a connection, we're being told by Eric Robertson here. So it was Duggleby, I think, that perhaps from a connection dropout. Too bad to hear, and we hope to see Duggleby back. If you guys want to send him a message to tell him thank you so much, I'll try and tweet at him if he is on Twitter, as we always really appreciate anybody jumping into the races that we do broadcast from in real life racing with any kind of Palmares. Rollers killing the legs and dreams, we're hearing from Mike Davis. Davis, hang in there, buddy. Less typing, more sprinting. Going to be coming up here as 40 is on the front again, demolishing it every single time we hit a roller here. 40 is just on the front, kicking the orange numbers out here. And this is why he is one of the strongest we've ever seen out on Zwift. And it is Bang here jumping onto the exact right wheel. Hodges now dragging the pack back to the front again. Interesting that James... it's surprising a little bit that Hodges is actually pulling things back here rather than allowing that to go. But perhaps just looking to make some sort of disruption here among some of the plans, or just a hard workout. A lot of times I think that is what some of the riders are out here just looking for here. Also, Hodges one lap down. Doesn't have a whole lot to lose at this point besides setting up the KRT racer. So I think maybe that's it. Maybe Kalen still sitting in at this point, looking for some points, as he is their top racer. Third wheel from KRT off the back already, though. Hodges, is he the only one? No, Kalen's still here. So this is their top-ranked rider. Kalen is going to be who they are working for. I believe he is in the top 15 still in the results for the series. We are on race number 4 for those just tuning in. It's 20 points to the winner, 18 to second, 16 to third, all the way down to 3 points for 10th place, and then it's 2 points for, I believe, 9 points for, 3 points for 9th place, and then from 10th through 15th, it's going to be 2, I believe, unless Nathan can't count or do math at all. But I think I got it right finally. So, at the front, though, This section, I don't know what it is about this section. I'm going to have to do a race on this course here soon. Tolbo, Jep was in there chatting with us earlier. Looks like this is what happens after you race a UCI race 2 days before this race. He says that this race was harder in the first 30 minutes than that UCI race was 2 days ago. But this is danger right here. Mbang, third overall in the series currently right now. We're in race number 4. He's got 3 races, and it looks like sitting on 28 points with the 3rd place, but no wins so far. He's currently ranked 9.3 here in the rankings right now, 18.7. His teammates, Simon Nielsen and Alexei Kalman, I believe, are not in the race. No, Nielsen is in here. We do see Nielsen in here. So there's actually an in-house battle going on right now between Nielsen, I believe. No, this is C. Nielsen. Excuse me, this is Klaus Nielsen. There's a couple different Nielsens actually out on the Fusion. Fusion, you got too many Nielsens. No, so Klaus Nielsen's out here. He's skirting in 9th place. He's tied for 9th place currently with 10 points. So he's not a threat really to Mads Bang. His teammate Simon Nielsen, which I'll have to look through and see if he is actually in the riders near. I believe Simon not out there in the race today. I'll double check the live results here over on zwiftpower.com, but it looks like Simon Nielsen actually sitting in 18th place, 2 seconds back. Excuse me, Simon is out there as well. So Simon perhaps going to be trying to follow the wheels here, and is he going to allow this to go and just not really care? But if Mads Bang Anderson takes more points than him on the day, he'll be edging Simon perhaps out of a podium spot, especially if Mads Bang wins outright. That gives him 20 points. He's currently sitting at 28 points in the series. That would push him up to 48. Simon Nielsen sitting at 42. Simon Nielsen could take over. Mads Bang Anderson could take over 2nd place overall if this break does stick. And we do have a break of some of the most experienced riders out on Zwift off the front at this point. Casey Schum, seeing that this is a threat, looking to close things down here, it looks like. Now we are seeing Brett Boniface here, Bang, and then it looked like Bang, it looked like 40 here, trading 6-7 watts per kilogram on the front, but KRT, along with Karstensen here, shut it right on down. It's going to be 1 lap to go here momentarily as we head through that, as we did head through the lap finish banner just a moment ago, and everything shut on down. Now we do have a very elite group forming at the front here. Davis, I think, does see the threat that somebody just let a wheel go here. Jiri there from Cryogen as well. Bay now 10 watts per kilogram kicking here on this 1% uphill gradient now. Nair there. Bay. Thorgensen as well from DBR. Jiri Cryogen. Nielsen just sitting in and following wheels. Simon playing it smart, waiting for that sprint effort. And I think that's how he's taken so many points for the team so far. Thomas Malo, thanks a lot. I appreciate the comments coming on through there. And it is letting us know that C. Nielsen is the team manager for Fusion ECT. S. Nielsen is in the pack. He's letting us know that as well. And he will be there for the sprint. Go, 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 Fusion. Appreciate that so much, Thomas Malo. And Malo, I might not see it. I believe I saw a name Malo in the results there as well. As I am seeing currently 5th place overall before this race. So Malo, looking at me, are you taking the week off? What's happening here, Thomas? As you got 16 points and a 3rd out there, 2 races in. It is the best of 7, so we hope to see you back out there soon. Davis now sitting in, looking for those points for Team Experimental. He's currently sitting in 7th place overall. And toward the front, we do see another attack here, looking to open up. Thorgensen always a threat, it looks like. And DBR 174 beats per minute in the upper left-hand corner. If you want to watch if you're new to Zwift Racing, I do know we do have a couple of places that has been shared out today where there might be people wondering what is going on here. All real people on real bikes putting out real power. You can see that power represented in watts in the upper left-hand corner of the screen. 660 watts currently coming from Brett Boniface. His beats per minute right now, 173 beats per minute coming from him at 88 RPMs to spin those pedals over. And that is from an effort coming in real life right now on a trainer from his home or wherever he may be racing that bike. Team Cryogen now making his way to the front. They may not be interested in chasing down Boniface. Boniface perhaps riding for Team ODZ out there currently, but maybe because not a part of the series, Boniface would have to do every single race from here on out in order to in order to, I believe, be in contention at all for an overall in the series. Perhaps they're just going to let Boniface go with less than a lap to go here at this point. He's got 11 seconds, holding down a crazy effort. 6.2 watts per kilogram currently coming from him, spinning over here, looking to try and stay away. Makes his way up to MD from the BRT team, who's getting lapped out on course. Tobel as well. Looks like Nair here just shutting it down. Not interested at this point to close down the gap to Brett Boniface. Boniface here, we said, one of the most experienced racers out on Zwift, and now he has taken the risk and trying to get away here and stay away from this elite pack. Boniface has the gap that's needed, 14 seconds. The threat is always right around that 15-second mark. Carstensen at the front here, 4.8 watts per kilogram coming from him as they look to start and make a concerted effort to chase this down. Kaland here, Shum, Farup, Nord, all at the front. Fusion ECT looking maybe to get organized. No, just sitting in actually as they allow everybody else to do the work. I think Fusion has been used to the sprints here out on Zwift for the first 3 races. Race number 4 might not be coming down to a sprint situation as we've seen in the races prior here. And there is a break now at this point, and it doesn't look like it's going to be coming back here. Good to see Dave Ranson in here, and as well as Russ, the ride leader, Cripps. Dude, good to see you in the broadcast, as always. I think race 3R mainly been dropped off so far. Alexis Luge, though, leading things out, it looks like in the B category right now for race 3R. Guys, again, unable to cover the B category. Apologies about that. Had some in real life stuff we have to take care of immediately following the broadcast today. So we are only following the A category on the day here today. We will keep updates coming as best as we possibly can. And it does look like there is a solid group of at least 30 riders, maybe not 20 riders in that B category being led out by Alexis Luge from Race 3R as well as Anders Blacksfeld. Out there as well. In that race as well for the B category, it is going to be Alexis Luge sitting second overall with 24 points behind the Ivar Birgit there for the Dads Inside Riding Trainers Dirt team in that B category. So if you are looking for race results after the race for that B category, C category, and D category, since we are unable to cover it this week in our coverage, make sure to head on over to zwiftpower.com for those results afterwards. So. But as we do head into the final moments here, only 7 seconds now is the difference, and Boniface now perhaps fading a little bit as we do head into the final straightaway here in just a moment. And Carstensen here from Norway leading it out at 6.5. Being the sacrifice for the rest of the pack. 165 beats per minute coming from him. Nielsen from Fusion ECT set perfectly, sitting in second place right now, second place in the pack here. Klaus Nielsen with Simon Nielsen right on his wheel from Fusion ECT. The 2 Nielsen boys here hammering away, looking to try and take down the sprint here in the final K. Now, off the front, Boniface though, but it's going to start ramping up in just a moment. I think the pack knows they're going to allow it to lull here, but will the lull be enough for Boniface to hang on to his 7 seconds here? The line is coming very quickly. It's almost in the mini-map in just a second here. And negative 1% gradient, though this may be against the pack's ability to close this down, actually. 6.2 watts per kilogram here coming from Kaylin. Shum now starting to make a chase. Up and out of the saddle now. 40 trying to go along with it. KRT and Experimental on the front looking to chase Boniface down. Now up and out of the saddle. It's going to be Fusion ECT knowing that this is the moment of truth for the race here. Boniface looking to try and hang on. 6 watts per kilogram coming from Boniface now. 6 seconds is still the difference. Little by little, they're ebbing away at this effort from Boniface, the Canadian, always a strong man out on course, but KRT looking to take over the front of the race now as we are seeing it looks like Adamino, though, from Fusion. Davis toward the front. Lurstein's there as well. Jensen here now making his run. Boniface now caught. Will he have a sprint to the line still? I'm not sure he's going to have anything left. We're within the last 300 meters on the saddle. It's Cryogen. Jensen going. Cryogen with 12 watts per kilogram coming from Cryogen. Look at Team Cryogen here, but Nielsen showing he sat in to save the energy perfectly. Davis coming through. We said he had the sprint, and it's Mike Davis, Team Experimental across the line. We'll have to wait for the official there, a little bit of the across the line spin. That's the latest with the hands in the air from these riders here. I believe Davis was able to nip that by a wheel length at the line here. Let's take a quick look. Let's take a quick look at the replay. What an effort there from Mike Davis. Sitting in, waiting for the moment to pounce here. And this was it. Mike Davis taking the win for Team Experimental here. And look at how the wattage started to go there, though. It is Jensen 10.7, looking at position well, but Cryogen does an early attack there, 13 watts per kilogram. But I thought Nielsen, with this move, I thought for sure this was going to be it for Fusion ECT, but Davis, seeing the jump from the threat that is Nielsen, knew it was time to go in the last 100 meters and comes by right at the line. Amazing effort there from Mike Davis. We'll have to go through and see if it did hold on in the official results, as we will be bringing them up here. Well, the preliminary results, actually, rather than official results. And it does look like cross the line, first place. It will be Mike Davis by 0.065, 600ths of a second. Amazing result there coming through for Mike Davis there. Then it's going to be Theory coming from Team Cryogen for third place there. Simon Nielsen second there, holding on. And that is going to be a solid result for Simon, able to hold on, I think, to maybe even first place overall, as Alexis Kalman taking the week off here. But that will bump Davis up into the overalls with a solid effort there. Fusion ECT with Jesper Adderman coming through in fourth. It is going to be Klaus Neyer there in fifth, followed up by Jiri Kleckner. Then Anders Jensen, seventh place. Klaus Nielsen, eighth place for Fusion ECT. Stian Lerfstein, shout out to the Vikings. Solid racing there for Stian. And then Mads Bang Anderson. Now, that's probably not the result he was looking for, as he's sitting in third overall. He may start being unseated from that podium following up after this week's racing. So, all right, everybody. Now, do not forget, next up on the racing broadcast tomorrow, Zwift Community Live Test Labs. It's all about testing out new features in Zwift. They're very minor tweaks. Now, these are not huge new features like a new course or a new power-up necessarily every time, but it is going to be little tweaks that we make to the game in order to make racing more entertaining, more tactical, more dynamic. We'll be back on Watopia, Hilly Reverse, 4 laps for the A's and B's, 3 laps for the C's and the D's. Make sure to tune in for that. Again, apologies, we weren't able to cover the B, C, and D categories today. I got to get to in real life appointment, but solid racing out there to everybody in the race. If you're looking for the results for the B and the C and the D category, head on over to zwiftpower.com. Again, we are live here with Zwift Racing and broadcasts multiple times a week. Make sure to hit that follow button wherever we are live right now and you are watching. Twitch, YouTube, Mixer, Facebook, and turn on your notifications so you do know anytime we go live. Thanks, everybody, for tuning in. As always, great job to all of the racers out there. Solid result there for Mike Davis and Team Experimental. Looks like those guys are in it for the long haul here to try and take out this racing series. Fusion, watch out. Looks like Experimental's got you guys in their targets. But thanks, everybody. Thanks to Fusion as well for putting on an amazing race and organizing all this for this 10-race series. We'll see you guys tomorrow for Zwift Community Test Labs. As always, ride on.